Ladies and gentlemen, I got a very special treat for you here. We are at the ASCAP I Create Expo in Hollywood, California, and his very first time here at the Expo. I'm very happy to have as our guest today Ben Labat, and he's got a great band, and he will tell you about them now. How are you feeling today, Ben?
I'm feeling great. Feeling absolutely wonderful. Enjoying my time here at the Expo. Meeting a lot of people and seeing a lot of interesting things and learning things I didn't know about the industry.
So your upcoming release, is it released? Homeward? Is that out now? Or
it is not out. It should be coming out in next couple months.
Okay, well, I definitely want a copy of that, you know? So we're going to check that out. And I've been digging your music. One of the hooks that really sticks in my mind is about the yesterday's clothes, you know? So was that like a real story? Did you go to somebody's wedding in yesterday's clothes?
Well, it was kind of I guess the story is more about the night before and realizing you had commitments the next day and not having anything to change to and just getting to where you needed to be in the same clothes that you were in the previous day.
Whose wedding was it?
A friend of mine, actually is the guy who shot the video. It was his wedding.
Ah.
Yep.
Well, that sounds like it was a fun thing. So you're living in Louisiana. Where are you in Louisiana now?
I am in a town called Raceland, Louisiana, which is about 45 minutes south of New Orleans. So if you go down towards the bayou towns and the swamps and where people just get around by boat, that's where I am.
Well, if you get down to Eunice and Ville Platte.
So Eunice and Ville Platte are a little further west, but
If you get into Eunice, knock on the door of a radio station called KBON.
KBON.
And K-Bon, and say hi to my friend Paul Marks.
Paul Marks.
Yeah, he's running a nice radio station there, and they're advertising pig feed and everything like that. You know.
I've run the Mamou Mardi Gras a couple of times. So.
All right. Well, that's great. So there's a lot of great music there, and you got a real nice band. So the cats on your band, have they been with you for a while, or are they changing a little bit?
Several members have changed. Myself and the guitar player, our main guitar player, are the two OGs, I guess, original gangsters, if you will. The drummer's changed, the bass player's changed. Still friends with those guys. They still will got the drumsticks thrown at me a couple times, but I'm a good band leader. Just can be a little difficult at times.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Raceland, Louisiana, which is the same town I'm in now.
All right.
Lived in LA for a little while, lived in New York, met my wife in New York City, and then we moved back to Louisiana.
Wow, so you lived in New York for a while?
Lived in Brooklyn.
Really?
Greenpoint.
Wow. Oh, wow. Brooklyn is happening these days.
Yeah, it was happening then too. It was a good place to live, but we were both from Louisiana and we're missing home a little much.
That's good. You brought it back home, you know.
Brought it back home.
Right on. So, you know, you've had you've been around in the business for a while. You did the label thing, and you're doing a lot of independent things, and so what do you like working with the label, or you like working independently?
I think the access you have with a label at reaching different musicians, different facilities, different studios, the budget is nice, but I'm much more enjoying the creative process I have now. I was last night and the night before out here in Los Angeles. A gentleman that has mixed and helped produce the last 2 records I've never met before. We have only worked online, sending files back and forth, and we finally got together to meet the first time now. So the independence, I don't have to answer to anybody. If I want to write a 15-minute song, I can write a 15-minute song. There's no pressure. It is completely creative driven. Now look, I'm big on quality. I have it's got to pass a certain test, and I'm not just going to put out crap. But man, they both have their benefits. It depends what you want to do. I did not like being told how to write my songs, how to play them, how to dress. So I walked away. And I'm much happier doing what I'm doing now. And I think that's why I started doing it. And not that the label experience was bad. It was good. There's a lot of good parts. We got to do some amazing things. But as far as enjoying the music and what I'm doing now, tenfold.
I can dig it. Well, you have a lot of freedom, and it's always good to feel you're doing what you want to do, and
Exactly.
not people telling you, especially when you're dealing with your own creative stuff that comes straight out of your heart.
And it depends.
Yeah.
Like, are you going to write for other people? Then, hey, man, I'm fine. You can tell me how to do this, tell me how to do that. Hey, you want this louder, you want this softer, shorten it up. Hey, that's fine. But if it's
Right.
my product that's going to have my name on it, that I'm going to sing and produce and engineer, then it's going to be done my way.
Right. Well, that's totally understandable and commendable. So, congratulations on getting your music placed in some movies. You're in Minnie's first, and then another film. What was the other one?
can't remember
Susan Sarandon.
Yeah, it was a Lifetime movie, actually. Which, hey, I can't remember the name of it, but I know we had.
Did that just come out of the blue, or did you have contact with the actual production of the movie? How did that happen? They just picked one of your tunes?
The publisher we had at the time had a Shop the Music supervisor, and it was picked up. Little tidbit: my wife worked when we lived in New York. She was in the licensing department for MTV Networks. So we got a through mutual connections. Hey, look, if it's not worth anything, the music supervisor will listen to it and kind of pass over it. But I was able to develop some of those contacts and hey, man, yeah, sure.
Well, that's a huge break, man. Congratulations, And did they run your name in the credits?
Okay, so the Minnie's first time when we waited when it was supposed to be the end song, like when the final scene happened and somebody was murdered, and our song was going to start, but it wasn't the song right then. It was the second credit song. So I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's hard to get on the scrolling
Oh,
credits. That's actually like a whole separate deal just to get on the scroll.
So we were on the scroll, but we were the second song on the scroll. But hey, it was still there. As
long as you're there, you know it, and you can just tell anybody, and it's the real thing. Yeah, we heard about that too. So anyway, man, you're a young cat. What do you want to do in the next few years? Do you want to travel, or do you want to stay local? Do you want to go out of the country?
I would like to travel, and with writing sessions with other writers. Meet some folks in LA, Nashville, New York, have some really, and it doesn't have to be those places, but I know those are hubs. There's plenty of good writers in New Orleans. There's plenty of good writers where I am, just different, Zydeco, Cajun music more, but I'm kind of doing a folky thing right now, so it's cool. So that
I love that Zydeco and Cajun music, because I'm originally an accordion player.
Oh yeah.
So I love Doug Kershaw and all that stuff,
Oh wow.
Yeah, I met Doug years ago,
There's plenty of festivals.
Cajun Crawdaddy,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he is amazing, That's a much great music there. It's amazing.
Insane.
Yeah.
It really is. But the next few years, I think it's focusing on writing, not being so much, out in front, being behind the scenes, developing songs, shopping placements, shopping. I think that's where I'd like to go with it. Not traveling as a rock and roller in a rock and roll band, but traveling as a professional in the studio, in the creative side.
Right on. Well, what do you got coming up? As far as are you playing any gigs out there? Can people catch you out in some venues?
You can catch me in Baton Rouge. If you happen to be in that area on May 12th at a place called the Rue House. That's downtown Baton Rouge. Another gig at it's called Beck's Fest. It's a local little festival. It's going to be outside. I think there's about 10 to 12 bands playing. We're playing that on May 7th. And that's in New Orleans, Louisiana. So if you're in Louisiana, we got Baton Rouge and New Orleans. And
well, we definitely got to come down there and see you. And I dug your Facebook. You got your Gmail address on there and everything. And you're very accessible, contactable cat, But you have your own website too. Can you tell the folks the URL on that?
Sure. Own website is benlabat.com, benlabat.com. You can listen. You can watch videos. We have the demos of Homeward, which is our new record coming out in the next few months. All the demos are up there, so you can get a flavor of what's going to come out. You can stream them. You can't download them yet. But so hopefully when it releases, it'll be a nice thing, and everybody will get some enjoyment out of it.
Beautiful, Ben. Well, it's really great pleasure and honor to meet you, and
same. Thanks
I
for
hope
having
you won't forget us when you're a multi-millionaire. And you got to come back to New York, because I know New York is in your blood now.
Yeah, oh, it is.
And just like you missed being back home in Louisiana, one of these days you'll wake up and you'll say, I got to get back to New York.
Absolutely.
So we're broadcasting late in the night on Manhattan Neighborhood Network Channel 1, the Jon Hammond Show. What would you like to say to the folks back in the Big Apple before we sign off here?
Back in the Big Apple. Hopefully we'll see y'all soon. It's been quite a while, but I need to get back there.
Thanks a lot. Ben Labat. All right. Look him up, everybody.
Bye.
All right. Very nice.